Folks, welcome back to the Bobby Bo Show. I played some more games off stream, and I made another brilliant move. So today I might get 1700 on stream, or at least get a little bit closer, so check out the live stream later. But here's the moves it starts with. They play d4, and usually I play the Anglican Gambit, but it stops working around 1700. So I'm trying to win all my games and become a chess master. So I play knight to f6, the Indian game, and I don't really know the moves it starts with, but I'm just going to kind of go with the flow here, and after knight to c3, I play e6, getting ready to bring my bishop out. And after e4, I play bishop to b4, pinning the knight to the king. But apparently e5 is very strong here, and they just have a lot of space in the middle. But instead they play bishop to d3, and I play c5 now. This pawn's not defended by the queen, so they'll play knight to f3 to defend it, and now they can castle. But now c captures d4, and I traded my c pawn for one of their center pawns. They'll take back with the knight, and now they just have a little bit of a weaker center. Still an even game though. I'll play knight to c6, challenging this knight, and they'll go back to b3. But now I can push for the center with d5, and they decide to trade pawns. I take back with my knight, and now I'm attacking this knight twice. Currently pinned to the king here, threatening to win material. So they'll break the pin with the bishop to d2. And now everything is well defended, but I can still take here, threatening the queen, so they have to take back. And after we trade everything off, their pawns are doubled up. And this is just a long-term weakness. So even though they have 3 pawns versus 2 pawns on the queen side, their pawns are disconnected and they cannot support each other. So still a pretty even game, but that's probably why the engine says minus 0.5 in my favor. But now it's my turn, and maybe I should just go queen to f6, threaten this pawn right away. But I go queen to g5, threatening g2. They have to castle now, and I'll do the same. Now my queen's on this diagonal, also in front of the king. Maybe my bishop comes up and I checkmate, and their queen can't go to d2, so it goes to e2, and I want to get this bishop out. So I just push this pawn forward, and now the bishop's more active. Maybe we can come down here and checkmate, but a pretty obvious threat. And after knight to c5, if I move my bishop, they could take this pawn, and also their knight can now just come to e4, hitting my queen. And I can't keep my queen in front of the king, because this diagonal is blocked, and everything is just defended here. So I'd have to move my queen off the diagonal here, or off of the file in front of the king. So I'm thinking about if I can stop them from playing knight to e4, and f5 would do the trick here. But that also opens up the diagonal in front of my king, and then I can get checked by this bishop or this queen, and then sometimes that's a problem here. But I thought about it a little bit, and I figured it's okay. I'll just play f5, and now this knight can't really go anywhere good right now. Can't go here, can't take here right now, can't come forward, and maybe I'll just play b6 soon. But now they have this check, and they'll play it bishop to c4 check, and I'll step over king to h8. And after rook to b1, they take the open file with their rook, double attacking this pawn here. And I can move my queen back to e7 to defend the pawn and attack the knight. But instead I play b6, and now white can take an advantage if they play bishop to d5, pinning the knight to the rook. But instead they play knight to e6, forking my queen and my rook, forcing the trade bishop for knight. But it's just a slightly better position for me now. They have these weak pawns, and I'm trying to attack the king here. And my king is actually pretty safe over here on h8, guarded by my rooks. But I want to bring a rook up here and over so I can checkmate. So I play rook to f6, attacking the bishop here. And then I can come over to g6, put bishop to d5 now. And I can't move this knight or I'll lose the rook. So I play rook to c8, defending the knight, but also lining the rook up with these weak pawns. They decide to trade bishop for knight, and now I'm attacking the pawn. But this pawn's not defended. Queen captures e5, and now it defends the pawn here. And they're up material. But I'm lined up on the king here. I just need to attack and bring all the pieces over. h5. And I'm just going to try to rush the king here. But my king's not very safe now that my rooks are off the back line. Queen to d8 check. And my king has to step up to h7. But now this pawn's not defended anymore. And after rook to e1, I think about taking the pawn. But then I realize there might be a brilliant tactic if I consider all of my options here. So first I play rook to g6, threatening checkmate on g2. Only way to stop it is g3. And now they're not going to get checkmated immediately, but this weakens the king up a little bit. And I have to play something like h4 here and try to break open the king here. But instead I play rook captures c3, taking the pawn. Because I didn't see anything wrong. I figured they don't have any threats right now. And I'm the one that's about to win pawns. But I didn't think about rook to d1 here. But neither did they. Because even if I try to checkmate them, they can just bring the rook down and checkmate me first. But they don't play rook to d1. Instead they play f4, attacking my queen here. But there's a brilliant move. Take a moment to find the brilliant move, smash the like button if you're enjoying these videos. And hopefully you found it. Because the brilliant move is the rook sacrifice, rook captures g3. And they resigned immediately. Because after the pawn takes, queen captures g3, and anywhere the king goes, checkmate. And it's game over, GG. But wait, there's more. I also have this other legendary checkmate from this Ponziani game that I played yesterday. Here's the moves it starts with. And now c3, getting ready to push forward with d4. And they play knight to f6, attacking my pawn that's undefended. And I'm still working my way through the Gotham chess video, but I'm pretty sure we're gambiting this pawn and just playing d4 here, giving it up. Yep, book move here. And after we trade pawns, I'm supposed to play e5 here. But I forgot. I just took back, and now they take my pawn for free. So already down a little bit, but I'm almost 1700, and they're only 1500. So I'll play d5 now, attacking their knight. But instead of moving the knight, they play bishop to b4 check. And a bit of a problem here. If I block with the knight, they take with their knight, I take with the pawn, bishop takes, and then I get forked king and rook here, and I'm losing material. So I can't block knight to c3. I play bishop to d2. But once again, they play the best move, queen to e7. And now the queen is lined up with my king, only blocked by the knight here. Bit of trouble. Even though their knight's under attack, they have bigger threats right now. I just have to block with bishop to e2. But after bishop captures d2, a bit of a miss. They had a slight advantage, up a pawn, ahead in development, attacking my uncastled king. Not completely winning, but now the pressure's pretty much off. I take with my knight. Their knight's still under attack, so they play knight to b4, attacking this pawn now. But I need to just castle. And they can't take this pawn, but they do anyway. And now I have a winning move. But I did not see it, but I almost did, because I was thinking about how this queen is in front of the king, and if I could get my rook over here and take this knight and move this bishop, then the rook would pin the queen to the king. So I took this knight first, when I really should have played bishop to c4 first, attacking this knight, and after knight to f6, trade knights, and then rook to e1, and I'll be winning after that. But instead I trade knights first, and after queen captures e4, I can't play bishop to c4 anymore, because the queen defends that square. But I play rook to e1 anyway. And what would you do if you were black now? Would you just castle? Because you have to play knight to e7. Because if you castle, you're completely losing if you find the winning move. And I did not. But go ahead and take a moment. And hopefully, you came up with the winning move. Bishop to f1. Attacking the queen. The queen is the only thing defending the knight. So if you try to defend the knight, rook to e5. Hitting the queen, defended by the knight. And you're winning the knight. So pretty cheeky. But instead I played bishop to d3. Now the queen's under attack. But after it moves to safety, I'm not attacking the knight anymore. So queen to b4. Queen's safe now. And they're attacking my b2 pawn. A little bit of counterplay. But now bishop captures h7. Because after the king takes, I take their knight and I win a pawn. And oh no, my b2 pawn. They take it. Blunder. And it's mate in 6. Queen to h5 check. Only move. King to g8. And then of course, knight to g5. Threatening checkmate. They play the only move, queen to c2, which defends the h7 square. And I thought, oh no, for a moment. But then I realized there's a winning move. But it's not the most winning move. So what's the most winning move that forces checkmate? Because the move I played forces them to give up their queen, which still wins. But I thought that forced checkmate was a little bit cooler, so try to find checkmate in 4. And the best move here is rook to e8, and it's checkmate. If they take your rook, queen captures f7 check, king over, checkmate. If they ignore your rook and just play like some random move, I don't even know, then you just take it, and after the king takes back, checkmate. If the queen tries to defend it, Then you sacrifice your queen. Queen captures h8. Queen sacrifice. Rook captures f8. Checkmate. Knight blocks this square. There's just nothing they can do here. But instead, I just figured, okay, I'll block this diagonal with rook to e4, defended by the knight here. And it's totally fine, completely winning, but they have to give up the queen to stop checkmate. Take back with the knight. And okay, I'm only up +2. And they have all of these 4 passed pawns versus my 1 pawn. So maybe they have a little bit going for them, but not a whole lot. They're still about to get checkmated with the right moves. So they resign now, and if it's a good day, I might hit 1700 today. So check out the Bobby Bo Show live later, and make sure you're subscribed for the next episode of the Bobby Bo Show. Thanks for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Goodbye.